Have you ever wondered about the less celebrated women in the Bible and their profound stories? Well, you're not alone in this curiosity. The Bible, an ancient text filled with wisdom and lessons, is more than just a spiritual guide. It's a historical document that tells us about the lives of many individuals, their struggles, their triumphs, and their legacy. While some of these figures are well known, others remain in the shadows, their stories waiting to be told. Among these lesser known individuals are the women of the Bible. Often overlooked, these women played significant roles, their stories filled with courage, wisdom, and faith. They were not just spectators in the unfolding of biblical events. They were active participants, influencing the narrative in their own unique ways. When we talk about women in the Bible, names like Mary, Eve, and Esther might quickly come to mind. They are indeed prominent figures, their stories echoing through the ages. But beyond these familiar names, there are other women whose stories are equally compelling, yet not as widely known. Take Jael, for instance, a woman of courage who played a pivotal role in a significant battle. Or Abigail, a woman of wisdom who prevented a massacre with her quick thinking. And then there's the woman with an issue of blood, a determined woman whose faith led to her healing. The Shunammite woman, a beacon of unwavering faith, and Tamar, a symbol of bravery in the face of adversity. Their stories may not be as frequently told, but they are no less significant. Each of these women brings a different perspective, a unique lesson, and a compelling story. They challenge the common perception of women during biblical times, showcasing strength, wisdom, and faith in their own distinctive ways. So, prepare yourself for a journey back in time as we uncover these hidden stories. Let's delve into the lives of these remarkable women, their struggles, their victories, their faith, and their impact. Let's celebrate these unsung heroes and learn from their stories. After all, history is not just about the well-known figures, it's also about the hidden gems waiting to be discovered. Our first stop takes us to the story of Jael, a woman of courage and decisiveness. Tucked away in the pages of Judges, chapter 4, verses 17 to 22, we encounter Jael. Her name in Hebrew means mountain goat, an animal known for its agility and sure-footedness on rocky terrain. This encapsulates Jael's character, a woman who stood firm when the ground beneath her was shaking. Jael was the wife of Heber, the Kenite, but her story transcended the domestic sphere. You see, Jael was a woman who found herself in the midst of a war. The enemy general, Sisera, was on the run after being defeated by the Israelites. He sought refuge in Jael's tent, unaware that his fate was sealed. Jael welcomed Sisera with open arms, offering him milk when he asked for water, a gesture of extravagant hospitality in those times. But as Sisera fell into a deep sleep from exhaustion, Jael seized the moment. She picked up a tent peg and a hammer, and with a steady hand and unwavering resolve, she struck Sisera, killing him instantly. Her actions might seem drastic, but let's not forget the context. Sisera was a cruel general who had oppressed the Israelites for 20 years. Jael's courageous act brought an end to his reign of terror and paved the way for 40 years of peace in Israel. Jael's story is one of bravery, yes, but also of strategic intelligence. She recognized the role she could play in this pivotal moment in her nation's history and seized it with both hands. Her courage wasn't flashy or ostentatious. It was quiet, strategic, and decisive. And it wasn't just physical courage. Jael also displayed moral courage. She chose to stand with the oppressed, even if it meant going against the assumed alliances of her husband's tribe. She chose what was right over what was easy. Jael's story reminds us that courage comes in many forms, often where we least expect it. Her courage was not in wielding a sword on the battlefield, but in making a difficult decision in her own tent. Her story challenges us to find our own courage, in whatever form that may take. Next, let's turn the pages to the story of Abigail, a woman of wisdom and tact. In the dusty annals of the first book of Samuel, chapter 25, we encounter Abigail, a beacon of wisdom in a world teetering on the edge of violence. Abigail was the wife of Nabal, a man whose name literally means fool. Nabal was rich, but severely lacked in wisdom and courtesy, a stark contrast to his wife, who was blessed with both. On one fateful day, Nabal slighted King David, refusing to share his wealth with the king's men who had been protecting his shepherds in the wilderness. This enraged David, who vowed to destroy Nabal and every male in his household. As the dark cloud of retribution loomed, Abigail, upon hearing of her husband's foolishness, sprang into action. In an act of profound wisdom and diplomacy, she gathered a generous gift of food and wine and rode out to meet David. Her tactful words and humble plea for mercy fell on David's ears, cooling his hot rage. She spoke eloquently of God's plans for David and warned him against staining his future reign with needless bloodshed. Abigail's intervention not only averted a massacre, but also left a deep impression on David. He recognized her wisdom, praising her for her good judgment and thanking her for preventing him from committing a grave sin. After Nabal's death, David, remembering Abigail's wisdom, took her as his wife. Abigail's story is a powerful testament to the strength of wisdom and diplomacy. She used her intelligence and tact to navigate a dangerous situation, changing the course of events and ultimately her own destiny. She stands as a shining example of how wisdom can turn a potential disaster into an opportunity, and how diplomacy can turn an enemy into an ally. Abigail's story shows us the power of wisdom and diplomacy, even in the face of impending danger. Now, let's delve into the New Testament to meet a woman known only by her affliction. This tale unfolds in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 5, verses 25 to 34. It's the story of a woman who had been suffering from continuous bleeding for 12 long years. A woman who, despite her physical weakness and societal stigma, never lost her faith. Imagine living with such a condition in a time when medical science was in its infancy. The scripture tells us she had sought help from many doctors, spent all she had, but only grew worse. Yet she never allowed despair to overcome her. Then, one day, she heard about a man named Jesus, a healer who performed miracles. A spark of hope kindled within her. She believed that if she could just touch his cloak, she would be healed. Now, visualize the scene. A large crowd was pressing around Jesus. It would have been easy for this woman to shrink back, to let the opportunity pass, but she was resolute. Despite her frailty, she fought her way through the crowd, reached out, and touched his cloak. The result was immediate. She felt in her body that she was freed from her suffering. Jesus, feeling power had gone out from him, turned around. "Who touched my clothes?" he asked. In fear and trembling, the woman came forward and fell down before him. She told him the truth. And Jesus said to her, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering. This woman, nameless but not voiceless, showed us the power of relentless belief. She was determined, refusing to let her circumstances dictate her fate. She reached out in faith and was rewarded with healing. Her story is a testament to the power of faith, proving that sometimes persistence is the key to our breakthrough. Our journey now takes us to the story of the Shunammite woman, a figure of unwavering faith. Nestled within the pages of the second book of Kings, her story is one of hospitality, faith, and divine miracles. In the ancient town of Shunem, there lived a wealthy woman known for her remarkable hospitality. Not much is known about her life except for her interactions with the prophet Elisha. Recognizing him as a holy man of God, she insisted that he stop by her house for a meal whenever he passed through Shunem. Her kindness didn't stop there. She even went as far as to set up a small room on her roof where the prophet could rest during his travels. In return for her extraordinary kindness, Elisha promised her a son. Even though her husband was old, true to his word, the Shunammite woman bore a son. But the story doesn't end there. Years later, her son, while out in the fields with his father, suffered a severe heat stroke and tragically passed away. Despite facing such a heartbreaking loss, the Shunammite woman didn't lose faith. She laid her son on the bed in Elisha's room and set out on a journey to find the prophet. When she found him, she fell at his feet, holding on to her faith. Touched by her steadfast belief, Elisha returned with her and performed a miracle, bringing her son back to life. This woman's story is a testament to the power of faith in the face of adversity. She was a woman who opened her home and her heart to a man of God, expecting nothing in return. When faced with the unthinkable loss of her son, she held onto her faith, believing in the power of God's prophet. The Shunammite woman's story teaches us about the power of faith and hospitality, proving that kindness is never forgotten. Her story may be tucked away in the Old Testament, but her legacy of faith and kindness continues to resonate with us today. Lastly, let's explore the story of Tamar, a woman who risked everything for justice. Tamar, a woman of the Old Testament, is a compelling figure who navigates through the complexities of a patriarchal society to secure justice for herself. Her tale unfolds in Genesis 38. Tamar is married to Er, the firstborn of Judah. However, Er's wickedness leads God to take his life, leaving Tamar a widow. As per the customs of the time, Tamar is given in marriage to Er's brother Onan to bear a child in Er's name. Yet Onan, too, is wicked and refuses to fulfill his duty, resulting in his untimely death. In the wake of these tragedies, Tamar finds herself in a precarious position. Judah, her father-in-law, promises his youngest son, Shelah, to her once he comes of age, but time passes, and Judah doesn't keep his promise, leaving Tamar in a state of limbo, neither a wife nor a widow. Undeterred, Tamar takes matters into her own hands. In an act of bravery and determination, she disguises herself as a veiled woman, encounters Judah, and becomes pregnant by him. When her pregnancy is revealed, Judah is quick to condemn her, but Tamar presents evidence of Judah's involvement. Recognizing his wrong, Judah admits, "She is more righteous than I," thus vindicating Tamar. Tamar's story is an extraordinary one. In a society that often silenced and marginalized women, Tamar refused to be a victim. She used her wit and courage to secure justice. standing up to the patriarchal norms of her time. Her story isn't just about personal vindication. It's about a woman's fight for her rightful place in society. Tamar's narrative encourages us to question and challenge the status quo when it stands as a barrier to justice. It is a testament to the power of courage, determination, and the pursuit of justice, even in the face of adversity. Tamar's story is a powerful reminder that sometimes standing up for justice demands courage and risk. These women, although less celebrated, have stories that resonate with us even today. Their tales, often overshadowed by more renowned biblical figures, are brimming with courage, wisdom, determination, faith, and bravery. Jael, for instance, while not as widely recognized as Deborah or Ruth, stands as a testament to audacious courage. Her bold act of defiance in a time when women were scarcely seen as warriors serves as an enduring example of bravery in the face of adversity. Then we have Abigail, a beacon of wisdom. Her story is a timeless lesson in diplomacy and tact. In a heated moment, she exhibited remarkable wisdom, bringing peace and averting a potential disaster. Her tale is a reminder that wisdom and a calm demeanor can change the course of events. The determined woman with an issue of blood, though nameless, has left an indelible mark. Her faith and relentless pursuit of healing, even after 12 long years of suffering, is a testament to the power of unwavering determination. The Shunammite woman's story is one of unwavering faith. Her steadfast belief in the face of impossible odds is a testament to the power of faith. Her story resonates with anyone who has ever held on to hope in a seemingly hopeless situation. And finally, Tamar, a woman of immense bravery. Her story, while challenging, is a reminder of the strength that can be found in standing up for justice, even in the face of personal risk. These biblical women, though from a different era, faced challenges and struggles not unlike those we encounter today. Their stories, filled with courage, wisdom, determination, faith, and bravery, echo in the lives of countless women across the globe. They remind us of the power of resilience, the strength that can be found in adversity, and the impact one can make by simply refusing to be silenced. Tita. Their stories remind us that everyone has a role to play in the grand narrative of history, no matter how big or small.